Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtich Mosar podcast. We continue with Pirkei Avos, Perek Aleph, Mishnah, Tes Zayin. So the Mishnah says, Rav Gamliel Hayomer, Rav Gamliel used to say, Aseh lecha Rav, make for yourself a Rav, a rabbi, a das Torah, Vistalk min asafik, remove yourself from suffix, from uncertainty, Val tarbe la'aser oimodos, and do not make it a practice to give tithes by estimating, which means be exact, be precise when you're giving maasros, and don't take guesses, don't be not sure. So there is a beautiful lesson that the great Rav Wolbe says. Rav Wolbe says that this Mishnah is not exclusive to umdis, which means maasros. You take a look at the entire world. There's so many places, there's so many times where we can make estimations. Walk into a store and you see on the floor, you see $1 bill. And you say, oh, I think I can keep it. I once heard a shir, there's a Gemara Bava Metzia, it's a Rosh Hashanah. Do you know the halacha for certain? Ask a shayla. You see something with a questionable hechsher. Say, oh, I know other people eat it. I think it's okay. It's whey, it's protein, it's chol v'so, chol v'sta. Should be okay. Al tar bela'asa umdis means oimid means to make assessments, evaluations. Don't be so fast to estimate everything. Have a mahalach, have a rav, have a das Torah. I once had a rebbe. And in light of this dictum over here of altar bel asa umdes, don't make estimations, he told us an incredible story that happened in his car. This probably goes back 20 years ago. It was his kids. They were going on a trip. And there was a chocolate bar that there was a questionable shayla if it was parv, if it was milchik. And my Rebbe had 2 sons at the time in the car, and they're going back and forth. This one had a friend that said it is, and he was once eating after fleshik, and the other one said no, back and forth, and they really wanted to eat it, and they weren't sure what to do. Should they call the rav? Should they call the OU, the Chavkei, find out, this, that? And finally, one brother took the bar, opened the window, and flung it out. And that was the end of the suffix. That was the end of being oimid, if it's good or not. And my Rebbe said, his point was not to fling things out of the window. But sometimes, when we have a shiloh, we're not sure what to do. Either we can say, it's okay, it's good, it'll be okay. Or sometimes you just remove the whole entire thing, throw it out, we're not sure what to do. Stay away from sveikas. Don't paskin yourself if you're not sure. And if you have a shiloh, sometimes just eradicate the whole thing. Chuck it out the window, however you want to do it. Throw it out of your mind, or get clarification. But al tar b'la'aser umdis doesn't just apply to the tithes. It applies to mahalach hachaim, that we don't want to get involved. Rav Wolbe writes that imagine you walk into a room and there's a cup of water. You're so thirsty, you just came out of a desert hike in Eretz Yisrael, in the Dead Sea. You went on one of those big hikes. And came back and you're dying for a cup of water. And finally you see there's a bottle of water and everyone's drinking from it. But you heard that there's a small suffix that maybe there was a poisonous snake that expelled its venomous poison into the water. What a shaita you'd have to be to drink from that water. You're very thirsty, but on the other hand, you have your life on the line. Of course, you would never drink the water. So says Rav Wolbe, the same exact thing. When it comes to Yiddishkeit, nothing is big, nothing is small. It's all the same. It's all Yiras Shamayim. And we have to look, if we have a shayla, we have a suffix. What does the Eibishter want? And if we don't know, we have to find out. And if we're not sure, if we can't do it, then we stay away. Stay away from the sveikas and do it in the name of Yerushalayim, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shimon ben Omer, Kol Yom Gadalti ben HaChachamim. Shimon ben says, all the days I have Gadalti ben HaChachamim. I grew up amidst the Chachamim, and what do they say? The only thing I found good and positive for my guf, for my body, is shtika, being quiet. Medrash, talking, learning is great, but the greatest thing is maisa. It's actual results, it's doing, it's getting things done. There's an amazing thought that Rav Wolbe brings down. We know that Esav's head was buried in Ma'aras HaMachpelah alongside the Avos. So asks, Reb Chaim Volozhin, Rav Wolbe brings this down in Shir Man Chumash, what's Pshat? Esav, the greatest Rasha, Esav Seinis Yaakov, if he wanted to kill Yaakov Avinu, how is it possible that his head, the Rosh, was buried right next to Avram Yitzchak Yaakov in Ma'aras HaMachpelah? How could that be? And says Reb Chaim Volozhin that it literally highlights this side of the Mishnah. Want to show that Esav, he had it all in his mind. He knew HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He knew that the right thing is Yiddishkeit. It's Torah and mitzvahs. It was all in the head. It was all intellect. And because of that, we allowed his head to be buried in Ma'aras HaMachpelah. Because in that respect, he rivaled the Avos. It was his body. It was the actual implementation. It was bringing it from the Sechel to the Guf. That connection, that's where he failed miserably. That's where he became the Esav Harasha, with his body becoming the hunter, the Ish Tzayid, the killer that he was. So for that, his body had to be outside of Ma'aras HaMachpelah. But his head, the intellect, the idea, knowing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Melech Malchem Lachem and Yiddishkeit is the Derech HaChaim, the Derech HaToiv, that he knew. So for that, at least, he was able to be buried in Ma'aras HaMachpelah. But V'loi Medrash Hu Ha'ikar, practice, is the main thing. And V'loi Medrash Hu Ha'ikar ala Maisa, practice, not study, is the main thing. And that's why, even though he was Esav Rasha, but his head at least contained the idea that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the right path, and for that he was able to be in Ma'aras HaMachpelah. Anyone who just speaks, anyone who just, we call it plopples, just talks, is ultimately going to bring chet. Moving on to Mishnah Yod Ches, the final concluding Mishnah of the Parak of Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Al Shleish Advar Ma'ilim Kayim, on three things the world stands, Al Din, Vala Emes, Vala Shalom, on justice, on truth, and on peace. Shanemar Emes or Mishpat, Shalom, Shiftu, Misha'arechem. V'chanani ben Akasha Omer, V'chanani ben Akasha says, Ratz HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Zakas Esisal, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to confer merit upon Klal Yisrael, Lefika Chib Lahem Torah Mitzvahs, therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us an abundance of mitzvahs and Torah. Shenemar Hashem Chafetz L'man Tzidko Yinad Torah V'Yadir Hadron Allah Parak Aleph of Pirkei Avos. Thank you for joining us. Mitzvah Hashem to be continued.